Looking for the shortest path to head to the abyss? In this Crimson Desert guide, I'll show you exactly how to navigate the Shadow in the Void questline without wasting any time. We will be using this cube right here as a spaceship to travel to the abyss to chase down Caliburn. You can find this cube in the Demeniss region. If you go northeast from the S of Demeniss, you will find it right here on the west side of the Drywind Valley. The cube will be located in this chasm next to the waterfalls. We will have to power this cube so we can fly upwards to the abyss. You will have to drop down and make your way inside the cube by dropping into this square right here. Once you're inside the cube, you will have to drop another layer by going into this hole right here. You will then find a force field that you will have to deactivate. As you can see, this blue barrier right here, we will have to deactivate this. Head to the end of the hole where you will see a battery on the wall. Jump onto this little block right here, then use your Axiom Force on the battery and make sure you pull out the battery to shut down the barrier. Once the barrier is down, we can head back where we will have access to a new socket where we can install this power cell right here. So grab the power cell with your Axiom Force, then pull it towards the socket and use your force current to install it. You can either use force current or force palm, but force current just makes it a little bit easier. You can find force current under your green spirit tree right here if you haven't already unlocked force current. Now that the power cell is installed in the socket, we can make our way back towards the battery. Grab the battery with your Axiom Force, position it correctly until it turns green, then use force current to pop back the battery to activate the barrier again. Next we will have to go to the upper layer. Use your Axiom Force to grab this pillar right here, double jump, and this will pull you up towards the upper layer. Here we will find a little puzzle with rotating disc, which we will have to rotate to restore power to the ship. Use your Axiom Force on the top right disc and simply rotate the disc until it turns blue. Then use your Axiom Force on the bottom left disc and also turn it until it turns blue. Once the disc turns blue, this will restore power to the whole cube. You can now go to the roof of the cube where you can just ride the cube just like a spaceship towards the abyss. Take note, this does take some time, but on your map you will see you're getting closer to your quest marker by the meters counting down. We just made it to the abyss. We now simply have to run towards the quest marker and complete a few puzzles along the way. First you will have to make your way west where you can pick up this abyss nexus for a fast traveling point. Once you've unlocked the abyss nexus, glide over this gap right here. We will then have to unlock the abyss right in front of us by pressing this button on the ground. To press it, simply crouch down, then use your force palm to press in the button. Once we've pressed in the button, this will restore the abyss, which will also complete a Ether Fragment challenge. We will then have to make our way through the Skybridge right in front of us, and once we're through the Skybridge, this little pillar switch in front of us will activate. We will have to use our Axiom Force to rotate this dial on this pillar, and once you have correctly turned the dial, this platform will activate, which will take us further on towards the boss. Make your way forward by any means necessary. Use your Axiom Force and double jump to get onto this platform, and then run forward until you have reached the abyss gate. Once you're at the abyss gate, make sure to enter the abyss gate, and then we can continue towards the quest marker. Once you exit the abyss gate, you'll see that your mission will be updated where it says we have to pursue Caliburn. You'll also now see that we're only 300 meters away from the main quest, so make your way forward until you have reached these massive cables forming a bridge towards a tower. Once you're at the cables, simply climb on the cables and run towards the tower. Once you're near the tower, simply jump down and make your way towards the entrance of the tower. At the entrance of the tower / the boss chamber, you will see an abyss gate spawning in front of you. Enter this abyss gate and you will challenge the final boss, Caliburn. If this Crimson Desert guide has helped you to head to the abyss during the A Shadow in the Void questline, make sure to drop a like.